Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to start taking a look at the deployment process. And the first thing that you would need to do is find out how you're going to transfer some variables to your remote machine. I mean, how are you going to transfer the build tag? How are you going to transfer the password for the registry? If you are using AWS, AWS already has services to do that. If you are using Google Cloud Platform, then probably Google Cloud Platform already knows how to handle that. But as we are doing a super simple example in here, we will be transferring the data using SSH. And for your real applications, you will find a way how to do it using AWS or using Google Cloud Platform. I'm just gonna give you the hint so that you can know how to do that on your real world. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go to our Jenkins data. Let's go to pipeline. And in here, we're gonna go to Jenkins folder. Let's create a new folder that's gonna be deploy folder, and we will be using it later. So for now, let's take a look at how we can transfer the variables. So the first thing that we need is the name of the image that is being generated, right? So the image is Maven project. Remember that we're generating the image with that name. So that's going to be the first thing that we need to transfer. So let's create a sample. Let's go to the deployment folder and let's go ahead and create a sample deploy file like deploy.sh. Let's hit enter. And in here we're going to say, okay, bin bash, of course, say bin bash. And in here, we're going to say, okay, echo Maven project. Remember, that's the image that we're generating. And we're going to transfer, or we're going to redirect this to /temp/auth. This is just a simple file that we're going to be creating to transfer later to the machine. So if we execute this script, let's execute it, deploy, and you go to cat temp.out, you're going to find a file that contains the name of your application. Cool. So second thing is that we need to pass the build tag, right? The build tag that Jenkins is going to generate in every single execution. So that's going to be echo build tag, and we're going to pass it to /temp/out as well. And we're just going to export the build tag variables so that is available and we can test it. Build tag equals to 12 probably. Let's execute this again. And let's take a look at the file that it's generated. Cool, now we have here the name of the image and the tag that is being generated. And the third thing that we need is of course the password. So let's modify this and we're going to say like echo password, and we're gonna pass it to /temp/auth as well. Let's modify this, okay. And remember, for testing, we're just gonna export this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're gonna test it, execute the script, take a look at the file, and you're gonna see all of your three variables. So you have the image, the tag, and the password for that image. Cool. So now, as you can see, our file contains everything we need to deploy our application. And now it's time to transfer this file to the remote machine that we create to deploy the application. Remember, this is just a simple example to transfer data, because probably if you are already in the cloud using AWS or GCP or Azure, there are already services for that. But probably some people won't have AWS or GCP accounts, so that's why we're doing it just, in a simple way, transferring a sample file. So let's go ahead and transfer this file to our virtual machine that we created. In this case, to transfer a file using SSH, it would be SCP. Then we're going to say -e, and -e, it's going to be used to pass the key that we created to connect to our machine. So in that case, remember that we have our key right here, which is prod. So let's say scp-i prod, and then we say the file that we want to pass. In this case is temp-auth, and we want to pass it to the prod user at Linux Facilito.online. Don't worry, this is my domain. Here you should put your IP, and then we say :/temp/out. So this means we're gonna pass this file, this local file, to this machine, and we're gonna put the file in this location remotely. So let's hit enter. Let's say yes. And as you can see, the file was successfully transferred. Remember that this file contains 3 lines. It contains the name of the application, the image I'm in, the tag, and the password for the authentication. So if we now log into this machine using ssh-i prod user add this DNS, and we hit enter, you're gonna see that the file was transferred. So let's take a look at cat temp that out, and here you see the file that was transferred from your Jenkins machine. So that's super cool. Now this would be the final step for our script to transfer the file to the remote machine. So let's copy this. Let's go to our Jenkins data folder, pipeline, deploy, or I mean Jenkins, deploy. And in here we're going to modify the file again, and we're going to transfer it using this. So that's cool. Remember that you need to have the full path for this key. So in this case, let's say that, or let's say like CP, the prod key that we have, we're going to copy to OPT. So in that way, let's say sudo 1 2 3 4. So in that way, we will have the file in OPT. Well, we didn't copy that. Why? Let's copy it again. Set cp prod to OPT. And as you can see now, we've got a key right here. So we can referentiate it using /opt/prod. So let's modify that in here. Let's say that the key is located at /opt/prod. And cool, now we can pass it. So that's super cool. We can now generate a new file. So now we can simply execute our script, and this file is going to be generated, and then it's going to be transferred to the remote machine. So if you do deploy.sh, well, let's give it executable permissions first, +x deploy, and then you execute this file. The file is going to be generated, and it's going to be transferred to the remote machine. And as you can see now, we have an error in here. So let's do sudo change owner of this file. We're going to give it the ownership to the user Jenkins, which is going to be 1000, this path, and now let's try again. And as you can see, now it was successful. So in this way, you can generate this file that contains the information that your remote machine needs to know, and then you transfer that file so we can use it in the future. So this is it for this video. I'll see you in the next lesson.